I wanted to make a quick update about what's going on with my trading, my approach. So the next half year I plan to devote to action profiling, but mid and longer term patterns only. I will be using only this method, and I prepared some tools to help me. First, there is this information that I got from emini today, and here he describes his approach, and there are 3-4 maybe patterns used in trading futures and non-futures markets. So I have prepared my zero charts to review the different markets and maybe look for patterns. This should take only a few minutes during the week, and the preparation part could be a little bit longer. Reviewing also might take a bit, so I plan to use also some journal, probably Trader View or TradesViz rather, which has some nice capabilities. So here I have a few charts prepared. ES futures, which will be my main instrument to trade. I also have NQ that I analyzed, and I will show you in a bit all the patterns that I found here. I also have Russell, and for Euro USD I tried with volume profile, but I don't like the patterns here, how they are. The market is reacting, so I will probably switch to DPO chart. And for stocks, I have for single names some charts as well for ETFs. I will add them in as I will broaden my scope of the markets that I look. But first I need to observe how the patterns behave. Also for crypto, for selected number of coins, but they are almost all of them are trading in very similar ways, so there won't be many patterns there. I use TPO for crypto. Bitcoin, it's a bit of a pain because it loads very slowly. And for stocks, I also plan to test regular trading hours and 24 trading hours, so I get pre-market also, so the gaps aren't that big. And I have some commodities and other markets, but I will add them a little bit later. So I have prepared some description of the patterns, which will help me stick to the rules. What's left is approach to targets and stop losses. So that is to be done, and because of most patterns are either on Bitcoin or on ES, then other markets need to be done separately. So if we take a look for S&P, what happened, I can sorry, it's Euro USD. For the S&P we don't have that much history. I have yet to prepare this, but let's for example start from here. So we are trying to gauge higher time frame participants and what they are doing, and here this lighter gray areas is value area of any given day, and this red box represents cumulative value area of all the days that the value was overlapping. So if the next day's value area is overlapping, then I will continue to add those days until we get a breakout. So for this period it looks like this, and the value area, cumulative value area is that. So here we had some value, we broke to the upside, and here we traded higher, nothing happened really interesting, and then we had this close below value. So this is pattern number 3, when we have multiple overlapping values and one day closes outside of its value, and then there is a directional medium strength pattern. Here is to the downside, and on the next day we have breakout because value is below, but here it's not bearish, because on that pattern we have to look at how the next day behaves. So the next day we have close within value, which means neutral. So this means that the pattern in its whole is neutral. So yeah, I mean we got some extension to the downside from this move, but it's not the pattern that we are going to focus. So we move on to find any overlapping value areas, and here we have some multiple days, and we have opposite pattern, same pattern number 3 as we had here, where we have multiple days of overlapping value, and one day we have close outside of the value, which is bullish. On the next day we have breakout with singles. The black area are single prints, and it closes above previous opposite direction cumulative value area, which is bullish. So we plan to enter on alien pullback or on the singles. So here this would be kind of tough, maybe on the singles here, and exit would have to be somewhere much lower. Yeah, I have to figure out the exact entries and exits for that, but just focus on detecting the patterns, because that's the initial tough part, to be able to detect them. Here we have also breakout with singles, and we enter on any pullback, so value area low would be a nice entry. And then we have those 3 overlapping value days with a close above value area high, so it's also a bullish pattern. This one is kind of neutral, weaker bullish, so we might add to existing position that we entered from here, or initiate a new one if we didn't have earlier. I have to figure out stop losses, maybe some volatility based number, or based on the range that we had within the previous days. So then on the next days we have nothing interesting, and then we have this breakout to the downside, but with singles, but we pierced through previous bullish area, and if we closed here, it would be a bearish pattern with the direction of the breakout. But here we closed back within this bullish area, which is bullish. So it is also another opportunity to get long, and then nothing happens. And now we had those 2 days with a breakout to the downside, but on the without single prints, so we have to wait for another day to finish on when does it close. But it closes within its value area, so the setup is invalid and we wait for more information. So basically this is it. I have yet to figure out stop losses. For example, if I entered long here, how would I manage that position? And if I entered here at this breakout, at this failed breakout, how would I approach managing that position? Because we were now clearly lower, we cleared those lows, so I have to figure out a way how to manage those positions. For NQ, I did revisit entire year 2025, maybe a bit more, and we don't have same strength of the signals as on the ES, but there are plenty. So as you can see, there is one setup every couple of days. I think has been no week without a setup. Maybe here, but yeah. So the signals aren't that infrequent, and if we multiply it by the number of markets that can provide those signals, it is quite plenty, but there are some stuff that needs to be figured out. I plan to distinguish my exits based on revisiting previous value area, and then maybe on opposite signals, but I have to yet observe the markets one by one and decide, maybe group markets, like for example in stocks the behavior might be different. So here is pretty much the end of June, and on NQ it looks slightly different than on ES, and there are plenty of opposite signals day by day, so that means that I'm not going to trade, for example, setup number 3 on NQ. I have to yet figure out, count those setups, count the reaction after them, and move on based on that. So that's my plan. I want to reduce all other distractors, all other methodologies, and influence. I have to get rid of all other stuff that I'm reading, I'm researching, and I'm getting influenced by, just to focus on that. And that's the mental exercise for till the year end. I think that since I plan to trade for the next 30-40 years, it's not that much time to be able to commit on one methodology, and then I will decide what's going to happen next.